My family, hi, welcome to another on your Truth and Love the Church with your brother Joseph. So I want you to listen to this following video where Prophet Angel talks about some of these excesses in the prophetic, the pastoral, the teaching, the apostolic, all those ministries, fivefold ministries. He also touches on some of the, problems that we find, some that he also contributed to, and all of those things. And he's saying that he's going to put an end to some of the excesses. So let's listen to what he has to say. Do share your thoughts, like, share, comment, and subscribe. God bless you.
Sit down, sit down. See, the difference between Uebert Angel and other men of God is Uebert Angel has got dedicated enemies. Dedicated, they're fully employed in that job. That they can sit down and say, we'll oppose anything he does. Even if I invent the medication for cancer, although we hear cancer here, but let's say there's a medication we give to that organization called WHO. They don't know what they are, they say WHO. Even themselves, they're asking. They don't even answer who. Now, if we give them that medication, they will still say it's evil. The package is not right. Now, I'm in Boston. As I'm in a walk up early in the morning, and I had a vision. And the Lord was standing there, said, you are the only prophet who has managed to put his enemies to rest. I said, my enemies, where? And God showed me the face of the person. I said, wow. I went to church live in Apostle Jeremy Ko's church, and I said, God has just told me this, that he has said, I have put my enemies to rest. But putting my enemies to rest doesn't mean to say they will rest. It means these ones are dying, but I've seen the face. I don't know whether it's 2 weeks or 14 days, I believe, and the person died. Now, let me explain why sometimes it can take longer, because our commission is a love commission. Most times the men of God that you talk about, I have just not gone to God to say kill. You are at the mess of their prayers. Now I know sometimes when I pray there are blessings and blessings. Then sometimes when I pray, everyone is at risk. One time I told my wife, I'm going to be in that room, but I'm coming out after these few hours. But if I go beyond, you come and knock and get me out of that. She arrived and she opened the door to try and figure out if I was still kneeling down. She got there. The moment she opened, it was like a rubber on the door. It's like trying to get in and you are forced back out. I'm kneeling there. I have no idea what's happening. Now imagine that means there is a restriction, that she is restricted, but I'm also restricted. I can't stand from where I'm kneeling. She can't get in to stop me. That means God knew that the time, you understand? We call it a fractal attractor point in physics, where it's like a tipping point or a defining moment where things are now locked in and now they are just ready to go over. And one time I gave her the keys just like A.I. Allen did. I learned from A.A. Allen. I gave her keys and said, don't knock, don't open, lock the door. Even if I scream and say I want to go out, don't. You think we just arrive, we just walk up like this, we call your name, yes, it is a gift, it's an office, but that office, there are inputs there. Say, there's time we dedicate, things we lose on the way. Do you know you can walk differently? You can even talk, you can decide to talk differently, like a decision. Just like I'm not going to talk to this one and this one and this one and this one. I'm not. There are people on my phone that I've said will never get there on the phone. Then there are people that I've said You are special to me, but don't call. Then there are people who say, you can only text. Then there are people I told, I will not call you on your phone. Then there are people that know, I can call you. And see, the rules are strictly given. I know you think it's rude. It protects you. I had opportunity, and listen, I'm one of the culprits that made this prophetic family and network to not hold a certain standard, because we are dealing with grace here. But when we deal with grace, the biggest thing I never told my people, not all of them, was there is a certain time I want you to keep a certain standard. Not for people, but for God. And as a father of this modern day prophetic movement, I'm also guilty of not holding my sons to a certain standard. So I pushed for grace and protecting the gift of God upon their lives, but not for a standard. Only a few that I would call and tell them off. The other ones I just said, God will see where you get to. But no more. No more. No more. Don't expect me to attack you publicly, but never expect me to defend you. There is a time, and now is that time. When God visited me that time, I had a whole time with him, and he began to tell me not to attack anybody, to clean the body, to push the love mandate, so pastors and leaders are able to love each other, not to attack each other from the pulpit. But in the same vein, he told me, I want you to fix the prophetic movement. So I'm going to spend my time giving minutes to this prophet, giving minutes to that prophet, giving minutes to that prophet. My time correcting, fixing what's wrong, for the body of Christ to benefit from the prophetic. Same goes for the apostolic. Too many liars, dissidents, rule breakers, proudful people, full of pride. Prideful. They just everywhere talking and judging men and women of God. Same with the teaching ministry, pastoral ministry, evangelical ministries. Everyone thinks they are the headmaster. But love, that's not to say if you hate what the apostolic is saying, it doesn't mean to say they are lying, that they are problems. They were just not sent to do what they are doing. Because they can still hold the phone and call the same person and tell them, stop, let's discuss. You're my brother, I'm your brother. Same with the pastoral. If they come out attacking someone, they are still not wrong in what they are saying. What's wrong is the way they are doing it. Same with evangelists and pastors and teachers. But we are held to a certain standard. Sit down, I'm about to tell you something. I'm finishing now. We were reading a scripture, you see, and the king fell through a lattice. Are you here? Are you getting this? And you know what Ahaziah did? When he fell, he said to his servants, go and find me from the god of Ekron and from Barzebub. Try to figure out if I'm going to live or I'm going to die because of these wounds. And they ran at the behest of the man. They went there and they said, before they got to inquire from the god of Ekron and Beelzebub, Elijah stood by the mountain, went and blocked them, said, where are you going? They didn't answer. I said, is it because there is no God in Zimbabwe? Sorry. Is it because there is no prophet of God in these lands that you go and inquire from a Sangoma? You go and inquire from a Juju man. You go and inquire from somebody who says, I do deliverance, and your demons will come. Said, go tell the king, is it because there is no God in Israel and there is no prophet? They went there and told Ahaziah. Ahaziah said, what does the man look like? Who saw? You said the man came and stopped us. What does he look like? They said he's tall. You're not hearing what I'm saying. And they zeroed in on his fashion sense. The king, Ahaziah said, it's Elijah. Yes. The Tishbite. Do you know how he arrived? Sit down. Said, and Elijah the Tishbite appeared. As they said like this, he said, 50. And the captain, go confront Elijah. They ran. He was in a place called Neoth Ramah. Neoth of Ramah. That was the village. The country, the town he lived in was called Neoth. In Ramah. He controlled Neoth and then controlled Ramah. Borodale of Harare. Fifty went. The moment he entered, the moment he entered, listen, 50, they found him on a mountain. He was sitting there on a mountain. The captain shouted. The king said, come down quickly and come to see me. He said, man of God. He said, you said I'm a man of God. If I be a man of God, may fire consume you and your 50. And fire came down, killed them all. 51 dead. The king heard it, that he is killed. Hey! He said, send again. They send again, 51. Said you. It's the same group, 50. You want me to kill 102? Fire come down if I'm a man of God. Bam, 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 dead. He heard it again, said, send the other one, 51. This one was wise. He had 2. 102 are gone. The moment he arrived and saw Elijah, he said, man of God, have mercy on me. He fell down. And have mercy on the lives of the 50 men I'm with. Please, the king said, come down. And the angel of the Lord said, spare their lives. Follow him to the king. He went there. When he got there, he said, king, you fell down. You are going to die, because he inquired from other people. I have sons who ask me what God is saying after they have already inquired. And when I tell them the results are negative, they say, can you change them? I say no. And they don't understand why. Because in that moment, God is trying to prove. He is trying to say, if Uebert angel tells you this is going to be the outcome and it's positive for you, you will think the people you went to last night are the ones who did it. And Uebert angel only prophesied the outcome that you were told by the people you spent the night with. So God will tell me, say the negative. then when I say the negative, it happens, yet you spend 8 hours poking someone else's photograph all night. And then they tell you, be naked, you remove everything. You're walking naked for 8 hours. Yet you could have called my phone. I tell you, this is going to be the result. You are losing election. One of my sons went somewhere and was told, you're going to win elections. And he came and said, what you were told is correct, that you're going to win elections. But how is where my problem is. He said, but the elections are coming. I said, no, I don't know how. But it might not be through these elections. But you're going to be the winner. But not now. But it will be now. But not. Then they said he lost the elections. He called me. I said, come to my house. Sit down. I said, listen, I don't know how. But what I told you is God didn't tell me through these elections. But he told me you are the one to take the position. So I don't know how it will happen. But you are coming as the winner. Although you lost. Neodrama.